The Footy Super Show. And now, here's Will and Sam.
Welcome to the Footy Super Show, episode 22. The season is flying upon us. We're down to 4 sides left. My man to the left of me is one of them. Sammy, how you going?
I'm good, mate. More importantly, and for the people at home, they're all wondering, how are you?
I'm good.
Huge.
I'm good. Do you believe it?
You okay?
You believe it?
No.
No.
Just wanted to check in. Obviously, a bit of a tough weekend. Bit of pill to swallow.
Yes, bit of pill to swallow. Boys will be very, very disappointed. I think a quick 24-hour review, but at the end of the day, as I tell a lot of people at Orenville, that's your worst finish in 10 years. Get over it, move on. Some people would die to play finals football 17 years in a row, and she happens, beaten by a better side on the day, move on. Suck eggs, as you would say.
Suck eggs. But you're right. What a bad way to look at it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got no other way to look at it.
That's fine. That's fine.
That
That is the definition of somebody who's struggling deeply.
Yep. I am. Had to cry myself to sleep
Yes.
a couple of nights ago.
No doubt.
Anyway, the bigger question is, mate, the week off, how are you feeling? You are one victory away from getting an opportunity to defend the title.
We are. Yeah, no, feeling good. I was having
My first question. Last week, we said if the weather was a bit off, would the big fella get out to the games of football and watch, or sit with elves and do the reconnaissance work? Did you get to the game?
I was there. I nearly had the shirt off. Suntanning.
That was Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday
live stream. Sunday live stream. Yeah. You know what it's like, mate. Young kids, the missus. We just got to juggle these things and priorities and whatnot. But let's definitely do a live stream, mate.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So,
The question is, did you get there Sunday?
I was there.
You're a live stream specialist.
I was there. All the South Mildura folk found me. They found me Monday. They found me Tuesday.
Phone's still here.
They found me today.
Phone's still here. No, that's all right. No, the body's feeling good, mate. I was chatting to Alves during the week, and when you get a bit older in life, sometimes having the week off isn't exactly a great thing because everything starts to slow down a little bit and get a little bit achier, whereas we like to keep the momentum rolling. But no, it's good. We've had a good week on the track. Boys trained the house down Sunday. It was 18 degrees, got a breath of wind, sun was out, it was pure. So we've had a really good week. Tough conditions last night. Yeah. But we got out there, got the heart rates going. Boys are up and about.
I think that's probably the worst side of the equation for the senior boys at Orange. When you get bundled out, the reserves are still in. Now this is the part where you got to earn your keep. You got to front up and support the other team. So they were training last night in those conditions. Good lads. Good on them. Good lads. Good to culture. A massive show tonight.
Huge.
We do have your co-coach and counterpart, your Saturday wife or husband, however we want to call it.
The one and only.
Your work wife coming in. So that's going to be a fantastic chat to get the thoughts of Alves and how he's preparing for that title defence.
Yep, be good.
But let's dig into the highlights that were from the weekend, thanks to our partners of the Sunraysia Football Netball League and their naming rights partner, Barry Plant. Out to Bondong Park for the qualifying final, where Redcliffe's got the Chockies over Oyen United. Kane Sherlock, as Kane Sherlock does, mate, gets plenty of the ball.
He does. He's a pig. He's an absolute pig.
Yep.
He's had a brilliant season so far. He's gathered another 29 disposals. One thing I've learnt that he does not handball. He's had 23 kicks, and I think he'd be averaging 90% of his disposals by foot. 9 marks, 4 inside 50s, 8 rebound 50s, and another 150 ranking points.
If he played forward, he'd never hand up.
No, never. But he flew the flag brilliantly for the weekend on Oyen United.
We spoke about this game going into it, that we both tipped Redcliffs, but we just thought they would find it hard to get the winning score in, and that is how the game sort of turned out in the end. It was a tough battle across all fronts, the contested ball, most of the stats were line ball, but it was just that corner piece.
It was, and Redcliffe obviously have a pretty solid defence with your mate Desmond, Pete Bayo, and they've got a few others down there, Turner, who all are serious weapons for them defensively and offensively. If we see there, Pete with a beautiful ball on Willsmore, who had a day out with 31 disposals, but it was always going to be the missing piece in our eyes, and as you said, proved to be the difference on the weekend.
Yep. Tragedy out of this game. We're hearing that one of our favourites and Cloud Medal, I was going to say favourite, I reckon, Jackie Parker's done his knee pretty badly in this game. You just don't like to see it this time of year.
Nah, you don't, and we've pumped him up all year, and like you said, he's had an outstanding season and been a barometer for Redcliffs in getting them to where they have got to thus far. And even those years building to this, he's been a pivotal for them and probably could have gone elsewhere or chased big dollars or whatnot, and he stuck that. So big shout out to the big fella.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll obviously be at home watching the show, of course.
Absolutely will. I see his big mate here, Reedy, kicked 4 goals on the weekend, giving us a bit of a Bob Marley impersonation.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, a bit more, that'd be nice. But we move over to the Orimple South game, which was a cracking contest.
Yes, elimination final, Henswood Oval, the Doggies salute by a point. Great game of football. This man was simply outstanding with his counterpart. They've been doing it all year, shouldering a lot of the work to the South Doggies this year in Montgomerie and Jackson Nagel. But he's had 12 marks defensively, had a 28 or so disposals, mate, and just took the absolute mick.
He did. He's at 152 ranking points for the day, which, most people going in knew that these two were going to be pivotal in the way South were going to play. And to their credit, they got the job done, which is outstanding. But a pretty heated game of footy. Obviously, we saw late in the game both sides struggling with some cramps. So it'd be interesting to see how South backing up again on Sunday after a fierce contest. But just looking at some of the stats for this game, Orimple won 75% of them.
Yep, just goes to show you that Premier data and football stats mean absolutely jack shit. And if you're not in front of the scoreboard by the end of the day, that's all that matters.
And weeks where on this show?
I just did episode 22 and we're there. No, obviously, look, it's disappointing when you get a lot of those stats go your way and it's like you win 90% of those games. These boys have been recruited to do a job and they're doing their job, but it's the blokes like this that you've got to still stand up. So Kev McDonald to pop up and kick 4 goals, I've been impressed with his last 2 weeks. So the opportunity he's getting now, even the likes of Don Scalino, these guys in the back line, they've been there doing the hard yards for a long time. We talk about leaving and selling the dream to them. They've now won a final for their home club, sticking around and delivering, and who knows, sky's the limit for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned those recruits that have obviously been getting the airtime for the Doggies weekend, mate.
Yeah. Out showing?
Look, we'll leave that up to the umpires. But mate, McDonald's been huge for him.
Yeah,
he's obviously been a source for him going forward, and as he mentioned, I think he did 5 against Moorbeen. He's popped up for 4 in his first final, and he's playing a pivotal role for the Doggies. So it'll be interesting to see. They've obviously got a huge task this weekend, but
they are a scary prospect.
They are
forward now. They've won a final. That's a successful year under my belt, and anything's possible. And it is that time for Defender of the Week, and could have been one of 2 people.
Is this 3 times?
I think this is 3 times.
The first 3 times.
3-timer.
Bit like Maxi Gorn with the 9 time. Rare air.
True, very rare air. Shout out Jackson Nagel. Huge on the weekend, enormous, but Defender of the Week this week goes to Rhett Montgomerie from South Mildura. 28 disposals, 12 marks. He was huge. He was the reason they got over the line. I think Orimple ended up having 8 or 9 more inside 50s, and he stopped the rot and kept his side in the game and broke Orimple hearts.
He did. Like we touched on earlier, You know, there were a couple of key focuses going in and a couple of individuals that are good enough to take the game by the scruff of the neck and break the Ripple Swallows' little hearts. There's going to be this man. So the show goes on, so to speak. He's been huge. Three-timer.
He's been built for the final stage. I say he could just single-handedly carry this side probably all the way to the last day in September, I reckon.
Okay, so jumping ahead a little bit, as we're on the topic, what's the plan for him this weekend?
Well,
if you're at the Helm this weekend and you know how good this bloke can be, what's the game plan? Just sit till on him?
Barry Stoneham off the line, was it? No, you can't do that. You can't do that anymore. No, look, you're going to have to someone who's fast, aerially just as good, endurance as well, because his work rate is phenomenal as well. Like, he's an absolute star. So, can you put 2 or 3 on him?
Well,
I don't know.
that's what we're running with.
But
we'll sacrifice a couple.
I'm sure the two Lukes will have something sorted out for him.
They will.
That'll be interesting.
We look forward to it. But, congrats, mate. Well done.
Congratulations to Rhett Montgomerie. We don't do coffee vouchers, but even if he did get a coffee voucher, we have a little coffee van anyway, so he doesn't need them.
Yeah.
But anyway, you're out of centre of the week. Big chat coming up. Thanks.
Huge.
Your man.
I've got all the dirt too.
Your man.
I have.
Well, you know, some people have accused me of being a little bit nosy, trying to get some dirt.
You are.
I don't need dirt anymore. I've got no one to give it to, so I don't care. Unless I go do some reconnaissance for South.
Yep.
Bring up Jordan, give him some info. Yeah. Up next, after the break, we are joined by co-coach of the Mildura Football Netball Club, Mark Alvey. Stick around.
First impressions matter. And when you're selling your home, presentation starts long before the front door. You don't need to spend thousands, just a weekend and a bit of elbow grease. A tidy, well-kept exterior tells buyers the home has been cared for. Because a well-presented garden doesn't just frame your home, it frames the buyer's mindset. And when it's done right, it's the little things out front that open the door to something bigger.
Discover Black Milk Specialty Coffee, Mildura's first true coffee institution, pouring premium 5 Senses coffee on our Synesso MVP machine, paired with fresh creative breakfast, brunch and lunch. Black Milk Specialty Coffee, 51 Deakin Avenue, Mildura.
Welcome to the Footy Super Show. And now, here's Will and Sam.
And welcome back to the Footy Super Show. We are joined by 3-time premiership coach, hoping and aspiring to be 4-time premiership coach, Mark Alvey. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Will. Thanks for having me.
How's preparations going, mate? We're 1 win away from the title defence.
It's a great time of year, isn't it? And,
Well, was, but yeah.
well, yeah,
Mate, actually, you can't.
you're a bit unlucky. No, I guess that's why you do it. You know, you got to put yourself out there and you'll be prepared to fail to try and taste something significant and unbelievable. And I guess that's where we're at right at the moment. But like you said, we've got 2 shots to play off in a grand final. If we're good enough, we'll get there.
Yeah. How do you see it, mate? You start the year out, you obviously aspire to play finals is the first box you got to tick. Then we've got to win a final. Is winning a final for you determined to say, yep, successful season, and whatever else happens after that is a bonus? How do you see it?
I think when you finish on top of the ladder, if you're not playing off in a grand final, I think that would be a pass for us. But with the situation we're in at the moment, we're full steam ahead, all guns blazing to try and win it. So.
Now, the question I'm going to raise to you, last year and this year have so many similarities to it. Some are saying you can't help injuries, but the way you guys have managed your list last year, and Sam, you can jump in on this conversation too, the way you have managed your list last year to this year, there's a lot of similarities to it. Have you taken from learnings last year, or is it just rinse and repeat, or is it more you're just sort of learning on the go?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we'd love to have had better health at the back end of last year, and certainly this year. I think we had 7 back in for the last round, which is a significant number, but we've had to manage the list very carefully. A lot of different individual programs, a lot of guys doing different training. So, and then the last 3 weeks has been about getting good loads into the players, which we've done. We feel like we've had a really good program in place the last 3 weeks, and play a game by. Some will say that's not ideal, but we feel like we've made the best of that situation. We're fresh and we've got the K's in the legs and we're ready to go.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, like when you come in, you take the job on, and as coaches, all you want to do is set some pretty strong standards, and then you want to set some cultures and some things and some non-negotiables within the group. It's interesting, and I've been fortunate enough to be in a situation you can beat your drum all year on that message, but the acceleration of the learning that happens in these spaces over this 4 weeks where everyone's in tuned, and the conversations you have to have, like they have to be big boy conversations and everyone has to be open and honest, but the learning and the culture that your club get from it, not from a winning point of view, but going forward for the club, it's huge. And I've seen it myself firsthand. How do you see that? And it's a very fortuitous position you find yourself in the club.
100%, absolutely. And obviously Kedge come on board 4 years ago now and really set the scene for a couple of years to get things back on track, and I've been able to come on board the last couple of years to support that, and I feel like the work we've done in the mental space. We're a club that couldn't get it done in the big games, big finals. Lost the grand final in 2016. And I felt like that was something we had to deal with. Just have honest conversations. What does that look like? When the going gets tough, it's that will to win and your ability to manage the big moments, identify them, and really own them and grow up a little bit. And we need to do that as a club. And I felt like last year we took some giant steps forward, and now it's about managing that, communicating really strongly, being organised, but also simplifying the message at this time of year. You know what your system is. You give them the information, and right, let's get to work.
Yeah, I might get personal here, and this is just from my memories and learning from last year to this year, but a bit of a shout out to a bloke that I'm only hearing second-hand information from last year, but Tarrant Lahoo misses out last year. And what I hear is probably more let himself down off the field, missed the opportunity. But talk about culture and you talk about way to respond. His football the last 5-6 weeks has been off the charts. And he's right in the conversation for us for our team of the year on a wing right now, the way he's being used. So just you talk about the culture, you talk about the mental learnings as well. He's prime example of that.
Yeah, really proud of him. To miss out last year after he was a significant part of our team all year, and his attitude and growth through that period, some big learnings. And then there was a lot of pressure in the off-season from people saying, oh, come on, you missed out in the grand final, you need to go elsewhere. But for him to say, no, this is where I want to be, I want to do the work, I want to learn, I want to get better. And I feel like both as a person, as a player, his growth has been huge, and he's a significant part of our team now. Kedge and I are really proud of the person he's become, but then now that's starting to flow into his football as well. So, it's guys like him that missed out last year that are driving the group and the standards and the hunger to go again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's good to say. I think he's 35 and 36 touches on the wing. Like, not many people are racking those numbers. When did the hours of sleep start to drop for you? We know you're an intense man. We know you love your preparation. You finished on top of the ladder. Surely the sleep's been pretty good until now. Does the hours start to dwindle?
After we beat Melbourne and finished on top after we dropped the previous 3, I did sleep well that night.
How do you reckon it was leading into those? I don't. Pretty stressful, mate.
People know I wear my heart on my sleeve, and pretty passionate about the players and where we're going and the club, and trying to get the best out of everybody. But yeah, from that moment on, once you've locked in top spot, well, then you can actually plan your next couple of weeks. So it's about getting to work. But certainly this week, I think it's great. It's the part of putting yourself out there, is that you've got that feeling in your guts, and your guts is churning a little bit because there's some anxiety, there's some nerves, but also my attitude is, right, bring it on. What a great opportunity we've got.
Yep.
That's what life's about, and that's what's in front of us.
Absolutely. You mentioned hard on sleeve, and I was talking to my mother today, and her mother, my grandmother, rest her soul, Still remembers back when you were coaching Wedgeworth, you might have given one grandson a bit of a spray from the fence, or little old lady was going to come walking over to the bench at Wentworth. And
Yeah, well, back in the days, especially when I played Dalrymple out on the far wing, I used to cop a fair bit of feedback. So you can either accept it and be polite, or you might give a bit back at times. And it's yeah, I gave as good as I got.
Right, love it. Question from a viewer. Appreciate tonight. I knew you were coming on and wanted me to ask, what are you going to do with the big fella down there at the end of the desk? Come finals time, he's a specimen. We know he's built for contested ball.
Yep.
Where it needs to be one in the coal face. Does he start and pivot, or is he just stick down on the forward line and break glass in case of emergency?
It's a nice weapon to have, isn't it? And the good part about that is, it's a good word for it. Yes, they're a real weapon, 100%. I think the good thing there is, too, you keep the opposition guessing. Like, and we've got an open mind team starting on ball or forward. Where does Mitch Rogerson start? We've got RJ Watson. So for us, it's about, the opposition have got a plan for that. Who they're going to run with, who they're going to tag. We move things around a fair bit. So, we will, we'll work through that. But he'll be playing a bit of both for sure.
Is he got the license, or is it a mutual agreement or a signal, or do you often just see him walking a bit and go, what's he doing? Hey, no, I've told you no.
There's some frustration at times. He'd love to be in there a bit more, but part of that strategy throughout the year is if the game's in control and we can keep him forward, and because what you're trying to do is you're trying to have him ready for this. It's a little bit like the Cats do with danger. So, keep them fresh and ready for the big moments and the
comparison with danger. No.
So keep him fresh and ready, but he'll have a big impact for us, whether it's forward, midfield, but yeah, you'll certainly see him playing both.
The number 17 will be flying for the D's. Right, who are the weapons from the weekend that you really need to put your time into? I know we don't want to give away too much, but they're a very even side across the board, and they've got some good weapons.
Yeah, they have, and you got to give them a massive amount of respect. What do they want? 8 or 9 games on the trot. I feel like defensively they set up really well, and right at the moment they seem to be getting on a weekly basis what they want. So freeing up Desi or freeing up Pete, they're all that group down back have been playing together pretty consistently throughout the season. So you've got that at one end, and at the other end you've got the two big fellas, Steele and Reid. Then Reardon can chime in with some handy goals. Probably the one that gets off the chain a little bit that doesn't get much respect is Conley. He's kicked a fair few goals in the back half of the year. And then Jimmy Kennedy's pretty dangerous through there as well. So they've absolutely got some weapons. They're the number one uncontested mark team in the competition, so you can't allow them to control the tempo of the game. Look, we feel like we've done our homework well. They've got their strengths, we've got ours. It's about who steps up on a day and performs.
Yeah, everyone obviously aware of the news of Jack Parker going down and McCreary being out as well. Is it a case of beware of the wounded bull? Like, you still don't. A lot of people go, Red Leaguers can't possibly win without those two blokes in their side. They just say 2 people don't make a side, do they?
No, they don't. And I think I don't really take too much notice. It's more system-based. There was a game early in the year, we played South Mildura. We had about 9 players there, and everybody said South would win that game. We rocked up one by 90 points. Football is a game based on your attitude and what you rock up with, and the 22 that we have out there and that they have out there, it's a second semi. Stakes are high. They're feeling good about themselves. We're ready to go. So having 1 to 2 players out isn't going to alter the way that we go about it.
It's more of a luxury, isn't it? Because obviously if Parker plays, Nolan probably goes to him being that bigger body. You need that bigger body, but now he doesn't have to go there. It's just the next one in line to try and stop the way they want to play.
Yeah, 100% too. And, from our point of view, we'd love to have Brody Jones and Sammy Gosman this week, but they won't be there. Both boys are pretty close. So we look forward to having them available in the coming weeks as well.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. Well, I think I've poked and probed you enough. Big wheels down the end here. It's time for the quick follow questions.
This will be interesting.
That was your last question. If you got, can I start on ball?
I'll ask you on that during the week, Pat does. I started using it. It's at the stage now where I just call Toddy over here, right? I'm up, Toddy. Just give him a nudge when you're in there and just drop him a suggestion on the ball and see how I go. But that was a good tech, mate. I didn't have to do anything.
No, I just I have these conversations the whole time. I don't get the opportunity to grill him. I might tell him piss off from the Huddle on Sunday when I saw him there. When I saw it.
It's funny. We got told to piss off from the Redcliffe one too. So, hey, anyway, we've got some quick fire questions, mate. Brought to you by the boys down at Black Mill. Zachy and everyone down there get a coffee, breakfast, lunch. They do a ripping job.
Did you go through this the first time we got you?
I don't think you did. Yeah. Right.
Cool.
So, Skim, you answer. Simple as that.
Yep.
Coffee order?
Skinny captain, mate. No sugar, half a sugar. Just a half sugar. Yeah.
There's not hard, but he's
A semi-old. Favourite movie?
Oh, geez, I'm not much of a movie watcher.
it's it'll be Sunraysia. No, it'll
Be what I had back in the day. God, didn't mind a Karate Kid. Yeah. Danielson?
Any 3 people in the world with present past that you can invite over for dinner? Who are you inviting?
We'll have the player of his generation, Steph Curry. That'll go down well with the LeBron fans. Who else we got? Be pretty cool to sit with the Fed Express. Roger Federer.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And I reckon Tiger Woods.
There you go.
Yep.
I knew that. A big throw. Big throw.
Leon Eversero didn't get a gig.
Leon Crisero. Is he back from Italy yet?
He's still.
Imagine he's
He's not coming back.
I got the text from him Sunday night. He was not happy.
I think everyone caught that.
He wasn't happy.
They're looking for someone to talk.
He was going off about the ability to hit targets inside 50. What was at the wedding there? What was at the wedding? All growing up was Alan Border.
There you go. Any pre-game superstitions? Playing or coaching? It's got to be a couple in that kit bag.
Coaching after I'll just try and get as far away from the players as I can. But definitely I'll give the mints a workout.
Right. I'm keen on this. Most annoying teammate to coach currently.
Most annoying teammate. Geez. The boys to coach. Yeah. It'd be a few. Who we got? Probably Jack Walker. Haslahu. Nathan Nolan's really annoying. Yeah, it's mine. He's annoying. There's a few actually.
Favourite holiday destination? Where you packing everyone up and going?
Broad Beach, best spot in Australia. Great spot for a family holiday. Why Broad Beach? Just a great community spot. It's got everything there.
Right.
Can't beat it. I'm off there in January.
There you go. Here's what it is. Best player you played with?
Best player I played with in Sunraysia or
Wherever.
I was pretty lucky to play with Jimmy Hurd.
Yep. I can probably answer this one. Are you a beer, wine or spirits man?
Like beer and wine.
All the above. I'll say if you guys are all okay. Everybody's coming over for dinner. What are you cooking for?
Oh, geez. I mean, what doesn't say this? We've been together nearly 20 years. I don't think I've cooked her a meal. It'll be just a spag bowls.
Oh, a good old Staples spag bowl. Beautiful, mate. They are our Kick 5 questions brought to you by the boys down at Black Milk. You had to go home and recover, put the feet up. Big section of mowing line for the boys.
Bit more prep.
Yeah, more prep.
Bit more prep. Get it done. One more question for you. I've seen plenty of Mark's minutes, and as a good coach, you never go for a minute. It's always a couple.
Yeah, I've had a bit of feedback on that.
Any chance we could see Sammy 60 seconds?
Sammy 60 seconds.
Well, he should, shouldn't he? He should, just to mix it up a bit.
Maybe that's something for 27.
27?
Tell you what I want something to pay, mate. Tell you what I want to listen to me.
I appreciate the time. Second time you've been in here. It shouldn't be sneezed at. The job that you do, you're touted as arguably the greatest coach that the league's seen. And if you happen to pull off 4 times, mate, that's going to put you right up there with some pretty big names and put yourself right at the very top of that list. So all the best for the title defence. Hopefully no more injuries. One other question. McLeod Medal. You know a tip for us?
From Johnson. Probably those 2 will fight it out. Mitch Rogerson would have been in the mix, but he missed a fair bit of games on the back end of the year.
Yeah.
Well, let's get cut in Montgomerie. Montgomerie will get a lot of votes as well. So there's your 3.
Oh, yeah. There's the 3. We'll box them in trifecta and we'll see how we go. Oops. That was Mark Alvey, co-coach of the Mildura Football Netball Club. Stick around for more of the Footy Super Show.
First impressions matter. And when you're selling your home, presentation starts long before the front door. You don't need to spend thousands, just a weekend and a bit of elbow grease. A tidy, well-kept exterior tells buyers the home has been cared for. Because a well-presented garden doesn't just frame your home, it frames the buyer's mindset. And when it's done right, it's the little things out front that open the door to something bigger.
Discover Black Milk Specialty Coffee, Mildura's first true coffee institution, pouring premium 5 senses coffee on our Sunraysia MVP machine, paired with fresh creative breakfast, brunch and lunch. Black Milk Specialty Coffee, 51 Deakin Avenue, Mildura.
Welcome to the Footy Super Show. And now, here's Will and Sam.
Good, and welcome back to the Footy Super Show. Great chat.
Great. He's the best footy brain I've come across outside of the system.
Yep.
And he does a tremendous. And I'm not just saying that because
No.
I get to work alongside him and he's a Mildura person. But I think anyone that's obviously been involved or played under Mark would, certainly have good words to say about him.
Yeah, absolutely.
He knows his stuff.
Absolutely
Speaks well.
knows his stuff.
He's passionate.
Absolutely. I think
Gives you good
this is probably just wanting to fast forward over the next month so he can get back to the men and sleeping routine.
I don't know how she does it.
No. But hey, when you're good and you're the best at your job, that's what you do.
That's it.
You
Exactly
get the job
right.
done.
Exactly right.
Let's go into looking at the games ahead this weekend. The D's take on the Tigers.
Yes, down in Oyen on Saturday.
Bit stiff having to go all the way down to Oyen. You finished top of the ladder. How do you feel
Yeah,
about
well,
that?
as
Like,
we
is that a-
touched on off camera before, you finished top last year, you end up going to Ronvale, and you finished top this year, you end up going to Oyen.
Please explain. Sunraysia Football Netball Week.
Anyway,
What you got to do?
it should be a cracking contest. We've obviously touched on Redcliffe's weapons, albeit a couple short. They are well and truly evenly spread across the board, and they won't be easy beats, that's for sure. So
So
we have a play.
They got you last time.
They did.
Yep.
They did. Yep. No, they were. They were fit and firing, and obviously up and about. Like Mark said, they've won 6 or 7 in a row, or 8 in a row now. So we got them there. Unfortunately, at the wrong time, and those games. I think we had 3 games this year, 14 points up at 3/4 time. We got rolled, which isn't great from our behalf.
No,
But it should be a great contest. 21 degrees, finals footy.
should be. But the one thing that I reckon the man is going home to do some more research on, and he spoke about, I think the small ground on the weekend's going to come into your favour because they like to play an uncontested marking game, especially out of the back line. So I think the smaller ground helps you guys systematically defend, higher up, track turnovers, and get it into the likes of yourself and Big Lukey Reynolds board of the ball. Big wing score.
Yeah, they're the best uncontested mark team in the comp, which is obviously a stat that we look at pretty closely. So we'll have to be on our game. So regardless of the size of the over, we're not prepared to work hard and implement some of our structures and set up well, we'll get cut apart. But I guess a smaller ground does always play into your favour in that way sometimes, yeah.
So now we've seen a couple of finals games. They've tended to be both pretty dour affairs. It's not as free-flowing, not as open. I think it's going to be a lot closer. I know we touched on it earlier. No Parks. We don't know if McCreary's going to get up. 2 very, very important pieces to the puzzle. If it is going to be that contested style, there are a lot of young gowers in the ruck. Zach Phillips should get on top. You should get first entry out of midfield. That should be an advantage for you guys in the weekend.
Yeah, we've certainly got some options to go through there, like Mark said. RJ's come back in this will be his 3rd run up from a shoulder. He obviously played a really pivotal role for us in our last game against Moorbeen. We've got the likes of Mitchie Roderson who can go through there. Taz has played some minutes in there when we went a bit light on. Alosh Brown goes through there. I obviously spent some time in there. So we've got some genuine A-graders that can spend some time in there. And like you said, Gales is a young kid who's developing his game, and Zachy's obviously coming on with a bit more of a senior experience. So hopefully that holds us in good stead, but we certainly won't be taking them lightly in there, that's for sure.
That's right. If I'm the Tigers and I'm Doherty and I'm coaching, I'm sending Vassy. I'm sending Vassy in. Yep, we spoke about Desi and that sort of getting a bit free and trying to intercept. I think this is the week where you have to try and defend and not you're probably going to have to adjust your game plan a little bit because I'm sending Vassy in. Because I'm going to send him in to try and replace Parker around the ball. Yeah,
and I agree. And I think Kennedy's going to have to play some minutes in there as well. Yep. Last time we came up against them, he did spend some time in there. So, I think Vass will have to play some decent minutes. Kennedy will obviously have to go in there. And, we've obviously got a pretty potent forward line. Matthew Keel's playing some great footy.
Yep.
Elijah Brown, who's obviously a star for the comp and is working through a few things. So he's ready to explode. And then we've got Lukey Reynolds and a few others down there. So it's going to be a good battle. As we mentioned, they've got some great defenders. If we can, use the ball going inside 50, should be a good contest.
The other one I'm going to call out, and he's played predominantly back all year and he's a good ball user. He's a good build. Turner's going to have to go on ball. Turner's going to have to grab the ball by the horns and leave the defensive post. Well, like Parker's that big of a loss around. You can't just leave Bastian there all day. Turner's going to have to go through the guts.
Yeah, and they're going to have to find something a little bit different that they haven't tried before, and that's potentially certainly an option for them. So no doubt they'll be putting their brains together throughout the week and trying to come up with some different scenarios, because I think they're going to have to try a few different things.
Yep.
But it'll be interesting to see. I have no doubt Brian and the boys will come up with a good plan. But yeah, they're going to have to find a little bit more midfield time from a few of those guys.
Yep. I'm going to tip the D's. We are still level on the tipping. I'm going to back his in to get to the final.
2 from 2 last week, the both of us?
No. I tipped Dalrymple. I tipped Dalrymple.
We both
tipped very quick.
Yeah, okay.
So, sorry, mate. Scores are still level.
Yes. Well, that's good for me since I was 2 behind, but I'm obviously tipping the D's as well.
Yep. So, D's to get into the final game of the year.
Yep.
And then we roll into our next game where South Mildura take on, well, it's a home game for them now.
Funny though, isn't it?
Owen United.
They do, which again should be another cracking contest. I think Owen showed some glimpses of their best on the weekend. Still without playing great footy for 4 quarters, so no doubt they'll be fired up, ready to go and make a bit of a statement. Owen got them twice throughout the season, so South are obviously looking to get one up on them when it matters.
Well, yeah, Jordan's stats for playing and winning this weekend obviously go to 9 games for 8 wins now for the year. So he looked to be moving a lot better than what he was. I think Brownbridge did a fantastic job on him on the weekend, but he was moving up and down the ground and having a time up the game. So he was moving pretty well for a bloke that's been injured. So he could be just building into tearing one apart.
Yeah, so he's either building to tear one apart, or he's going to be...
Or he's going to blow up.
He's going to blow up on the second run. On the second one out, but he's a star player, so we'll back him in to absolutely dominate.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brownbridge did a fantastic result, and to South's credit, Jordan didn't have a huge impact on the scoreboard and that, so to speak, and South still managed to find a way to win. So full credit to the doggies. It should be a cracking contest.
Where I think South, looking at the stats of the Dalrymple game, they got smashed around contested ball. They got smashed at stoppage, clearances. That's Ian's bread and butter. That is Ian's bread and butter. South's bread and butter is having Jackson and Montgomerie behind the ball and the way they move the ball from half back. So it's 2 completely different styles of play. But I think, once again, Ian are going to get the advantage coming out of the middle. It's about their forward entry. It's about who they've got there, how they can stop and impact these 2 blokes back there.
Well, it is, and that was probably Dalrymple's downfall on the weekend and was the main factor in what cost them the game, really. Like you said, won all the stats, inside 50s, won the clearances and everything like that, but their entry wasn't up to standard, and it brought the 2 guys into the game in Montgomerie and Nagel. So you're right, I want to get their opportunities, absolutely. But yeah, they're going to have to use it smartly. Otherwise, again, we're going to see Montgomerie and Nagel at the top of the list, and we're going to see another South win.
Are we going to see a bit of the Ian goal? Because when Ian running about, they were the most physical team going around, and you had to be on. You had to have your wits about you because they were very uncompromising in their football. I think if they bring that, that's going to ask a lot of questions of these young South Mildura kids that have played in one final round how to win. I reckon that's a bit of a conversation that's going on.
Yeah, I think so. And every time you come up against Owen or you think about it, it's just that persona of farmers, country people, loving it and under. They might be the most polished footballers at times, but they just have a crack time and time again. And I think that's what we'll get on the weekend. And I think they're going to have to be.
Yep.
If they're fair dinkum, I feel like the 2 Lukes will have them revved right up. And they're going to have to get a little bit old school and roll the sleeves up and get down and dirty. So I'm excited to see it.
Does Lucy Thompson roll forward? Does he go forward?
Well,
He plays a defensive role. You may as well go and play that defensive role forward and stop these guys having an impact. Plunk a mark, kick a couple of goals, put the pressure back on him.
Well, he's certainly going to force a couple of the South defenders to have to play on someone.
Yep.
We've touched on Owen having a lack of a forward presence time and time again. And when you've got Montgomerie and Nagel down there doing what they do without having a key forward from one of them to have to pay any respect to, they're asking for trouble. So whether it's Lukey, whether Bramage has to play a few more minutes forward and they try and make shift to ruckman, I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it a bit more, but they're going to have to try something.
Yeah, because Carpenter was good too down back.
Well, Carpenter's great. So they're obviously utilising Carpenter, Nagel and Montgomerie down back when needed.
Yep.
And as mentioned, if Owen aren't prepared to swing the magnets around and give him a genuine option forward, the three of them are going to have a field day.
Yep. I've got one for you. I'm throwing Dell Willsmore to Jordan. Same height, I reckon. I reckon Dell's coming into some fantastic form into a finals. He goes to Jordan, who on the weekend got a bit higher up, play centre half forward. I really asked the question of him going back the other way.
Yeah, and I like it. And again, I think that's something that I even have to look at to try and generate a score. And Willsmore's in great form. He obviously had 31 on the weekend, played a few wing minutes, but at AFL level, he was a forward.
Yeah.
He knows where the big sticks are, and he's someone that you're going to have to pay respect to. So he's going to force South to make a decision. And sometimes you've got to sacrifice your game for the better of the club. And if that was a job that he needed to do to get Owen over the line, I'm sure he'd happily put his hand up and try and play that role.
Morris, does he play a forward defensive role? Because he plays a bit of half-back too.
He does. He plays half-back, and I think it's Morris,
yep.
He does, and he's a genuine half-back for him, but I think with the likes of Sherlock and that down there at the moment, he may be someone that can go forward. The only thing I'd be worried about is his height.
Yep.
He's obviously on the smaller side. These guys have got some height and can really compete in the air. However, again, they're going to have to try something. And having a body there may be enough just to force a contest and halve the ball. Maybe enough for them.
There's only one tip I'll give to the boys from Owen. Corral, Nagel, Corral, Montgomerie, don't go in for the tackle, because if they break a line, they are going to break the game open. That's how they get their transition.
It's almost like the old discussion is kick it in there anyway, but in the air.
Yep.
If you have to kick it along the ground, just kick it along the ground.
Absolutely.
Just
dirty ball.
It doesn't matter. And it's a little bit to the way our Orimple have played over the years without having a genuine forward.
Yep.
Sometimes just getting in there in a chaotic manner can pay dividends, and then you can build the pressure, and the smaller light players can really get to work. And there'll be opportunities where you can lay someone out or get an advantage side to a one-on-one. That's fine. But the panic kick in the air can't happen. Kick it along the ground.
You can't get an intercept mark when it's rolling along the ground.
Exactly right, mate. Who you tipping?
Well, I think this is going to be a lot closer than what people think. I think the general consensus is people think South are going to get through. I did say South and Orimple would go.
I finished third for a reason.
I did say South and Orimple would be only a goal in it. I did call that.
You did.
I'm going to call it. There's going to be a goal in this game again too.
Yep.
And I'm going to go
It's killing
to South. South are just going to sneak over 2 weeks in a row, but don't write the Kangas off.
Absolutely do not write the Kangas off. And I am going to go, I know we're tipping, but I'm going to go the same.
Yep.
I just think confidence and momentum come big games and finals is huge. And down at Doggyland, it is rife.
They are up and about.
It is rife. The rest of the training, they've got numbers on the track.
Yep.
They are up and about, and I think that plays a big role. And obviously being at home on Sunday. So
absolutely.
I'll go on the Dogs.
Yep, the place will be rocking. Yes, get down there on Sunday. You're going down a highway on Saturday.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We go into this live show, so we touch on it again. Thursday, September the 10th.
Yep.
Live at the Workers. few guests starting to.
Yes, we're
line
starting to
up.
build a nice little panel, a couple of special guests. We're going to have a couple of games and whatnot.
Here and a handball contest going to be on.
Yes, no, it'll be good. It'll be really good.
Prizes up for grabs.
Yes, there's be raffles going off. As you said, the beer tap will be well and truly in good use.
I hear a little whisper. There's a green room and there's VIP access. There's a few sherbets and stuff can be had.
We get access to that.
Yeah, well, we'll be up on
Surely,
stage.
surely there's a pre-game and a post-game function.
Well, I think I know where you could potentially be playing the game final. I don't think too many people who want you in the green room.
No, that's right.
Do you want to push it back a week after, just in case?
Can we do it alive but not live? No, which would be good. So, make sure everyone makes the effort to get down there, and it'll be a great night, bit of fun. It'll be finished the year off. Obviously, we'll run through our all-Australian team and whatnot.
Yes.
So there'll be a few things there which will be really good. So watch your space.
Absolutely. But we can't do what we do without our amazing sponsors. So
No,
thank you
we
to
can't.
White Mildura
Yep.
and Chemist Wear.
Absolutely. The boys down at Black Milk for doing what they do and sponsoring our quick-fire questions. Best coffee in Mildura. Damo and Pari down at 1467. Call team, fantastic. Davey Burrows, breakfast, radio.
He's a king.
He's a
of
king.
breakfast radio.
He's a king. He does it all. He does everything here. Before we go and before we wrap up the show, you wanted to give a special shout out to a special cause.
Yes, Willow's Walkers for September will be kicking off in September. So what we'll do is we're going to drop the link below. So jump in, join in, get your steps up. Fantastic local cause for a fantastic local little family there as well. Get behind it, jump in, try and get as many steps as you can. As I said, the link's down below. Jump in, donate or buy some merch and things like that as well.
They've got a couple of events coming up. I think they've got a walk and stuff coming up, so we might get those dates
we'll
up
get
as well. So
things up. So
fantastic cause for a local family. So every little bit counts.
jump on, absolutely. Be on
Absolutely.
Willow's Walkers. That's the end of the Footy Super Show this week. All the best for the weekend.
Thanks, mate. You might see me next week.
I'll tell you what, hopefully the game is live because I don't think I'm driving down the highway to watch it.
I knew you would.
Well, as you said, thanks to Sunraysia Football Netball
Yes,
Club.
well, that's true.
Sit on the couch for the comfort of my home after 18 holes of golf, probably.
You got to listen to Pari, though. That's the only issue. Nah, don't.
It's a mute button, Pari, for you. No, we'll get you on there. Looking forward to you coming on our live show, Pari. So stick around for more of the Footy Super Show next week.
First impressions matter. And when you're selling your home, presentation starts long before the front door. You don't need to spend thousands, just a weekend and a bit of elbow grease. A tidy, well-kept exterior tells buyers the home has been cared for. Because a well-presented garden doesn't just frame your home, it frames the buyer's mindset. And when it's done right, it's the little things out front that open the door to something bigger.
Chemist warehouse in the middle of our street.
Discover Black Milk Specialty Coffee, Mildura's first true coffee institution, pouring premium 5 senses coffee on our Sunraysia MVP machine, paired with fresh creative breakfast, brunch and lunch. Black Milk Specialty Coffee, 51 Deakin Avenue, Mildura.
Sun City Streaming thanks our wonderful sponsors for their generous support for our community YouTube channel and the Footy Super Show. Tesco Inland Petroleum, White Mildura, Chemist Warehouse Mildura, and Fisher Developments.